Hi guys, the next video is a shout out to all the instructors out there, those that are following my channel. I've been receiving some questions and some video clips from friends of mine in the States and other places in the world, and I thought it's maybe an appropriate time to talk about some of the things that I'm seeing that might be dangerous for students out there. Now, I'm a product expert, so my job is to liaison with instructors that I use, and I try my best to bring across the best takeoff techniques and the techniques that are applicable to a specific product. If I don't do that, an instructor tries to use his own ability, his own information to teach a student on a specific glider, then that could lead to a problem. All right, so one of the techniques that I've been seeing circulating in especially the US has been instructors that are teaching the students to take off in a 30 to 40% brake position. So they pull up the glider, they go to 40%, and that's what we call riding the stall. So there's no pressure inside the glider at that point. When you pull up and you hold the brakes, it's almost like taking off with a handbrake on. Now, for the life of me, I don't know why this technique is being used by experts, because maybe it's because they're using intermediate gliders or beginner gliders when they use those techniques. But the problem that I have is that this information comes across to people looking at these videos on YouTube, and they think that's the correct technique. I'm not going to be mentioning names. It's very simple to look at a video from a product review specialist or a YouTube personality or an instructor that is pulling up the glider, going to 30-40%, throttling up and riding it out as slow as possible with the takeoff. Alright, so the right technique in general is to get the glider to a 12 o'clock position. You rotate, so you hold the risers forward, and that is almost like your arms are fully extended. You rotate by holding the risers forward. When it gets to 11:30 position above your head with a beginner glider, most likely it will get on its own to a 12 o'clock. So you hold the risers forward until it gets to that point. Then you grab it with a brake, and when you get to the 20% brake, that is actually the point that you decide that you want to take off. Now, that is what the manual says should be done on pretty much any instructor manual that I've seen thus far. So for me, it's very surprising to see instructors illustrate a technique where they're holding it onto the 40% and riding it out, the takeoff out on a stall position. When it comes to the new technology gliders, the super advanced gliders, that actually I've illustrated now in past videos, and if you haven't seen them, get to watch them. It's about the Dudek Warp and the Dudek Solo. Those gliders are new technology. They have an extremely slow takeoff speed due to their riser design, and therefore the pilot actually has to hold the risers forward and can start accelerating with their hands on the risers forward, and then only when they want to take off get to the 20% brake and then take off. Anything more than that, you're begging for a stall. It results kind of like in a bad crash, and that's what I mean with, if you're riding the stall with the takeoff, there's no pressure inside the glider. You could be airborne for 3-4 meters. Only at that point the glider collapses and you come down at quite a speed, and that results in some serious injuries. So I'm trying to avoid those kinds of incidents happening, especially with people using the Dudek product range. Alright, and then the next video I'm going to be showing is just a repeat of my takeoff with the Dudek Solo. Shows you hands up, rotating, keeping it forward, getting it to 12 o'clock, 20%, then take off. So try and remind yourselves of this technique. Think about what you're doing and think about what is the correct technique. And if you're not 100% sure and your instructor is not 100% sure, then send on the questions, and we can, at least from the Dudek side, can try and help you guys as best as possible to have the best techniques come across to students. All right, thank you very much, guys, and we're moving on to the next video, which is about cross-country kit. I'm really sorry I'm bombing the YouTube channel right now with a whole bunch of different topics. The reason why I'm doing this is because I'm moving on to some conservation projects, because that is that's actually my real job. It's not about flying and selling Nirvana paramotors. I'm just here for the development side, and I'm happy to say that I'm finished with the development side. The F200 was the final product that I've helped Nirvana with. The cross-country product, the long-range extended tanks, etc. I feel that the product is now completed. The technology and the gliders are there, especially with the ADT, the unidirectional takeoff. That allows me now to back off. I can have somebody else take care of this, and I can now focus on implementing the tech in conservation flying and environmental flying. All right, guys, thanks a lot. See you in the next video.